out for some familiar faces as the Metro K line is currently wrapped in KBLA Talk 1580. Make sure you visit the KBLA Talk 1580 online store, now open for business with all kinds of fresh merch. Don't miss a single episode of The Motivator, Les Brown's month-long radio residency. You've got to be hungry. Weekdays at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580. And afternoons just got real. Real people, real talk, real issues, real solutions. Be sure to check out Ariva Martin in real time on your way home, weekday afternoons from 4 to 6. Turning up the frequency all Black History Month long. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. There's something wrong with that.
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
When I think about black men and dating in general, I think about their preferences, and sometimes I don't feel like they're always checking for us.
Hello.
So I think specifically of a well-known celebrity who has been highly publicized for beating black women. But when I think about what his recent comments were about the hair of black women and who he would date based on her hair texture, it infuriated me thinking that, well, that one, who is a role model for a lot of black men, is not checking for us. He's making it seem like there's something wrong with having the one B.
But do you realize you said that one? That could be for any
but
race.
that's not just
it's
him.
That one.
It's not
but
just
it's not
him.
just him. Within the industry, they are fetishizing mixed women.
They do. For sure.
They do.
But
but just if you have any sort of exotic, and that's the problem.
You're right.
That's what you're talking about.
You're absolutely right.
I'm going to go all the way back there.
I grew up in a family that I was too dark, okay? I was too dark, but then at the same time, my grandfather was a white man. But as I grew up, black men weren't interested in me. White men were attracted to me, okay? But my attraction was always a black man. That's what I want in my life, okay? The black men, they're there for us. There's an understanding, there's a, I don't have to try. I can just be.
Wow. That's heavy. And these are real concerns that our sisters have about us. Now, people who are watching on KBLA's YouTube channel, I'm listening to the video and you guys see me laughing. I'm not laughing at what the sisters are saying. My child is in my chat room talking. So when my child comes in the chat room and starts talking, I'm like, oh, Lord. Because she said, please don't mention my man. And I'm, okay, all right. Okay. So my child is talking. So if y'all saw me laughing during that clip, that was a serious clip. You know, I'm really just laughing at my child, okay? But the sister brought up something really heavy. Do brothers seem to like sisters that are a little bit more Blasian, biracial, light skin? Like, what's the deal? Do brothers have an issue with dark skinned women?
I'll tell you, I struggle with this.
That's because you from Texas.
Maybe so. I get that there is definitely a Eurocentric standard of beauty.
Right.
I'll concede to that. However, I think that we, especially in our community, we spend so much time focusing on other people's preferences when we don't meet those preferences. The reality is that most of us, and this is purely anecdotal, But I would believe that most of us have an issue with people who don't like us, but will not speak on the people that we don't like. We're all trying to force the people that we like to like us, while simultaneously looking over the person that likes us that we don't like.
Let me hit you with this.
Okay.
If 70% of black men are born to single mothers,
sure,
and our mothers love us the way they love us, could those same boys grow up into men and begin to dislike women because they dislike their mother?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I don't think we talk enough about that. Not only that, do you know how difficult it is for black men to be honest about the traumatic homes that they were raised in by women?
Well, if you put a mother in survival mode,
right,
and she's got to do what she's got to do to get everybody and carry. She's LeBron James of the household now. She got to put everybody on her shoulders and carry, right? Okay. If she does the best she can do. I had to tell my brothers and sisters this.
Yeah.
I had a sister who was mad, right? I had a sister who was mad at my mother. I said, your mother's from the projects. When I was born, she was 27.
Right.
And I was number 6.
Yeah.
From 3 different dudes.
Yeah.
She was married, then got with your daddy, then got with my dad. Hey, what is your expectation for her?
But my pushback is I can understand the conditions that I grew up in, and they still can be traumatic though.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not blaming anyone for
But that's what we do.
We do.
Yes.
Yes, these mothers are doing the best they could, or they can, but they're still causing trauma that has to be dealt with.
So how do we deal with them?
And this is where this is where the mentor comes in. This is where the transformation from boyhood to manhood is so important. This is where men have to stop looking outward and start looking inward. You talked about the victim archetype, and there's so many of us that are just, we have a litany. I mean, just a long list of people.
Would you? There's so many men who got the victimhood archetype tied to their wallet.
Oh, absolutely.
If I spend money, I need to get honey.
Yeah.
Now, if I spend $300, something need to happen this evening.
Right. It's a fair exchange.
Victimhood connected to the wallet?
Absolutely. And it makes sense, because the only way to get out of poverty is money. But poverty is not just a state is not just a financial state. It's an emotional state. It's a spiritual state. It's a psychological state. And we start to believe that our money can buy us out of all types of poverty, but it can't.
Especially not internal poverty.
Absolutely not.
That's the poverty money don't work on.
You cannot fix a broken heart with money.
Woo, here we go. Here we go. Phone lines is cracking. Who's on the longest? Cali, Seoul, Denver. Get in here.
Peace, brothers.
I told you we was going to talk real tonight from a man's perspective.
Ooh, I'm enjoying myself. First of all, to what he was just saying about in regards to brothers liking lighter skinned women or whatever, like, we still got colorism within our community, and society absolutely contributes to that, and we continue to fall for the okie doke. My journey to accepting my beauty was a long one, because since I was a little girl, people would tell me how beautiful I was, but I thought that they were just patronizing me because I'm a chocolate woman. So I was like,
right.
yeah.
Did you see?
Whatever.
Did you see Cali Soul? She came to the shooting of the Situation Shift.
Oh, did she?
She was on the Almond Joy side of the game.
Yes.
The mounds.
Yeah.
I knew I recognized his face. Okay, hey, brother. Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cali. Finish.
So, yes, it's fine. So, fast forward, it took me until I was like age 32 to really step into my beauty and recognize it for myself. And I had to shave my hair off to get to that point and actually see my reflection. And I was like, wow, okay, I'm good. I get it. So fast forward now, I love to see the brothers out in the stores, at the whatever with their girl, and they look at me and they're like, oh, wow, I should have hung on and stuck around for a black woman a little bit longer because I didn't know they made them like that. And I'm like, yeah. And hi to your girlfriend too. Hi, how you doing, boo? Bye-bye. I don't want him. You ain't even got to worry about me. I don't move like that. But through going through all of that, go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Through going through all of that, finish your thought.
Through going through all of that, I recognize that the peacocking that some of black men do is a direct effect of the victimization because the ego's slick. Mm-hmm. It can be a coward or it can be real nasty, loud, and boisterous. So when I see those guys acting out in that way to where it's just straight peacock, I'm like trying to decipher to myself the difference between their societal programming. Like, okay, is this brother really cocky, or is this just like his defense mechanism going up because he's had to prove himself all of his life and he doesn't necessarily know how to code switch out of the code switch? Like, yeah, you've been projecting all of that to society, but I'm standing right here in front of you. I'm just a simple black woman. I don't need you to peacock for me because I know who you are. I see your core.
No. That's not gonna work for no dude. Go ahead, Tony.
I like to ask you a question, Callie. Not to
break it down for me.
Not to challenge you, but to get a deeper understanding of what you're saying. Because what confuses me is if you are able to discern between the peacocking that is artificial because he's hiding trauma, or the peacocking because he doesn't know how to code switch out the code switch, as you say. Does it matter? And two, if it matters, what is your responsibility in that, dealing with that?
Patience and love is my responsibility.
Your
responsibility,
and I am
able.
Callie, your responsibility should be walking away.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because if you can see that on a spiritual level, that's God saying, "See, now leave." But you raise a great point, Callie, and maybe you could give us some insight on this, because we really know, and we can see it, and brothers will switch personalities because one works better.
Yeah.
Brothers will turn into the Neander Negro in order to get the girl he wants, as opposed to the girl he got to settle for, because we've seen it work. Can we talk about that? Your attraction to the Neander Negro, a.k.a. the Pookie?
I'm not saying I'm into hugging porcupines. I'm just saying I will offer you some grace in that moment. You know, like in those moments, we can either snap off and let the clown shoe fly all the way out, or we can just see it as a true call for love. And like you said, walk away. But oftentimes that is not what happens. What happens is a clash of the titans in that moment, where the sister go off and say something to him, then he's going to say something back, and we've got a whole reactive situation. So no, I'm not saying I'm still going to move toward this, person that's having a great call for love. Me meeting it with patience and love is just saying, wow, I still love you anyway. Take care.
But you represent a different kind of woman. Callie Soul's different. But there might be some women out there that says, I want to conquer him.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that the female ego is different too.
It is. I want to fix him.
Absolutely.
I want to conquer him. I want to fix him. I want to love on him. All that. Yeah.
When you should really just leave him alone.
You should just. You saw the peacock. You saw the feathers. You should just walk.
Just walk.
Are those feathers? Yes, just walk. Callie, so we appreciate
porcupine quills.
We appreciate the call, baby girl. You brought Denver, Colorado in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call us at 1-800-920-1580. When I come forward, whoever's been on the line the longest, that's Nazarene X. We coming right to you. We got a lot to talk about.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
In 1963, Earl Berry joined LADWP to become one of only a handful of black line workers at that time. He knew how important it was to deliver electricity to our residential and business customers reliably and safely. Today, Winifred Yancey, DWP's Director of Power, New Business, and Electrification, is at the helm, leading the effort to charge up LA through our expansion of EV charging infrastructure and rebates. Her trailblazing career includes more than 30 years with LADWP. As your LADWP celebrates Black History Month, we proudly highlight the excellent work and exemplary leadership of Black employees who work hard to serve you. Visit us online at joinladwp.com.
Get ready for an intimate evening with Life Jennings. Valentine's Night, February 14th at the Redondo Beach Performing Arts Center. Doors open at 7 p.m., showtime 8. Advance tickets start at $65. Life Jennings and special guests. Valentine's Night at the Redondo Beach Performing Arts Center. For tickets, call 800-595-4849. For more info, call 323-849-9577 or visit jimsbenefitconcert.org.
Let's get back to business, Los Angeles County. The Economic Opportunity Grant Program is now open. This program is designed to provide financial support to qualified small businesses, micro entrepreneurs, food industry businesses such as restaurants, and nonprofits in Los Angeles County. Approximately 4,600 grants of up to $2,500 each will be administered to qualified micro businesses that face barriers to accessing capital resources. To learn more about the Economic Opportunity Grant Program, visit www.grants.lacounty.gov. The application process is fast and easy. Don't miss the opportunity to get back to business. This program is administered by the County of Los Angeles through its Department of Economic Opportunity and funded in part through a grant from the California Office of the Small Business Advocate. The application portal is powered by Lindustry. Visit www.grants.lacounty.gov and get back to business.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Come on, feel the vibe with your brother, Zoe Williams. Right now it's 2 a.m. in the morning. I'm on the 405, ain't no traffic. I'm at about 97 miles an hour now. And I got this track blanging, right? Have you ever heard this record before? I don't think so. Tonight, my playlist is always my co-host, but tonight I'm playing unique records. This track is called August 10. It's by that same group. What is it? Karangbin. I listen to it all the time. Tonight I was like, I gotta play this group. Karangbin. But the name of this track is August 10. Yeah. It's such a vibe tonight. The phone lines are completely jammed from all over the United States. Let's get these callers in here. Who's been on the longest Nazarene X from the wetlands of Fallopia?
Man, yeah.
Man.
You got to give us. What up? You got to give us a real city, brother. You can.
Sound like a long distance call.
Yeah. Ain't no place like home. Ain't no place like home. But nah, shout out to the brother Tony Massey in the building.
Up, bro? What up?
Yeah, he cooking.
Thank you for having me.
He's cooking.
Yeah,
tonight.
brother.
Yes.
It's been solid.
So what's your thoughts?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I've been listening, and really, I know even when the co-host is real groovy and all, I've been wanting to choose a little bit more violence than like. It's a little different.
That's why that's why I had to play the music and cool us out, because I know how we get down. We had to vibe, man.
Yeah. Okay. So this help me. Just help me. Okay. What I also heard earlier, and I think that's part of what ties in the one thing that could be said, like brothers might have a difficulty in dealing with sisters, but even this whole thing of like the good guy mentality. It's solid, like you just be the best man you are, but part of our responsibility as brothers is to stop tolerating just the pusillanimous activities of these dudes that need to have an easier time with sisters. Because to a degree, I understand, like, people keep saying, like, oh, you know, it's too hard or it's making it more difficult, but that's what helps us appreciate those rare few. Like, from a community aspect, even back on the Sparta type thing or whatever, it's like part of the problem is a lot of our sisters apparently are getting used to being able to choose the low-hanging fruit from us as men. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword if everyone that's claiming to be a good guy is complaining about the quote-unquote bad guy that's making it hard for sisters to see them. Part of your responsibility as a good man is to help a woman identify you and continue to stand apart from those that might not be for her. Whether that means also us standing in the ring together, back at the barbershops, having certain conversations, because each one of us, like it's the iron sharpens iron thing. And I get a little turned on that because I would rather have that, how you say, like that 1 in a billion sisters. That don't mean, like, I'm not saying that women as a whole are bad or our sisters are a hopeless species or anything like that. I'm just staying locked in on the prize. So whether it's the women that are just used to, I guess, getting over on the dude that would just serve them and let them walk all over and whatever it is, they not really even on my radar. How you say is like, if somebody has a problem with you, is what kind of energy you give it that affects your world. So it's like the good women are in my sights. If a woman fall off, so be it. I'm going to keep it pushing. If a dude's like, nah, you got to stop being so hard on the sister. I'm not hard on sisters. It's just like we supposed to have our standards elevated on both sides. Like it works both ways. So I'm not trying to be the low-hanging fruit for a sister regardless. And if she thinks I am, more likely than not, I might end up with the little punani pie as I continue my voyage, seeking the one that's more divinely aligned with my purpose in the forward process of life.
So, wait, hold on 1 second. Play Fantastic Voyage for me.
Lakeside.
Yeah, put Fantastic.
Let's do it. Keep it funky.
Can we just have a quick music break? Fantastic Voyage.
Man, look, man, let's just go.
While she out here tripping.
While she out here,
there's a party over here that ain't no jive. It's live, all the way live. Don't even have to walk, don't even have to drive. Hey! That's what you do. Oh man, boy, you crazy for that one.
Just slam on it, man. I'm gonna stay out the way and everything, but I mean, I love the conversations. So you already know it's all love and respect. I appreciate, adore what you do. Mm-hmm. Everyone, please remain tapped in. I just hope we can have conversations and continue to be courageous in having these conversations so that we can better vet ourselves.
There you go.
Try to leave it like that. Let's get back to the cooling, the grooving, you know what I'm saying? But keep it funky, though.
I appreciate it, Nazarene X, Wetlands of Falopia. And now, let me just say this real quick. Ah, man, this one hurts. Here's the thing. Why do you care? Just like a woman is dependent on most women, let me preface that, some but all, most women are dependent on the Disneyland, the Disney script for relationships, happily ever after, all of that. But men are too.
Yeah.
Men want to be Prince Charming. And in wanting to be something to someone else, you create a need. And where there is a need, there's a potential deficit. Why do you care what she thinks?
Right.
And many men are made by what their woman thinks. Now, I'm not saying your woman shouldn't think highly of you. I'm not saying your woman shouldn't respect you. And I'm not saying you shouldn't appreciate it when she does. What I'm saying is you shouldn't die. Right?
Right.
You shouldn't crumble internally if that's not there.
Sure.
And if it's not there, don't try to cultivate it through your behavior.
Right.
Many men try to perform to get approval. Oh, that's... Listen, I don't have to perform, and I won't perform, and I won't tap dance for you.
Right.
I'm not a relationship thespian. I'm not going to act. I'm not going to put on... I'm not going to do any of that.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. And a lot of men do that.
Absolutely.
And that's where they get in trouble with women, because they figure if I perform, I should be paid.
Right.
Talk to me about that.
No, absolutely. And this is the thing. You touch on something that's so important, and I touch on this in my book. Once a man learns what the blueprint is, once he learns the script, he'll follow it. He'll memorize it. He will act it out. He will be exactly who you tell him to be. Right up until the point where you stop telling him. And now all of a sudden he has to be himself, right? We've been conditioned and we've learned through our behavior that we know that all women aren't the same. So I'm going to be whoever the woman in front of me needs me to be, wants me to be, until I no longer want her, or she requires me to be who I actually am.
Can you imagine being your least effective and productive self when you're your true self?
Right. You can't. It's
almost like you get more from acting.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh God.
And,
1-800.
And then that's why we look across the table, or we look across the room and say, well, why does he get her? Well, that's because he's doing the same thing. He's just doing it better than you.
He's better at acting than you.
Or he's reached a point of self-actualization. He is who he says he is.
Ooh.
And he's not looking for validation from the woman he's with. The validation he gets is internal.
Yes.
And again, we go back to leadership. The leader does not turn around to see who's following. The leader inspires followers.
He's trailblazing.
That's it. Yeah.
He's
absolutely.
making roads where there are none.
Absolutely.
1-800-920-1580. Let's get this caller on right now. Ronan. Oh, what? Okay, look, Ronan, you're next. When I come forward, Ronan, it's Heru Ali, actually. Heru Ali is next. When we come forward, all calls. We get deep on these topics and start talking. We still got a lot to talk about, but when we come forward, we go into the callers.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Mike Island, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Abortion may still be a constitutional right despite the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade last summer. A Washington, D.C. judge said the 13th Amendment may include reproductive rights. She said the Supreme Court's ruling only concluded that the 14th Amendment didn't have a right to abortion. President Biden says the shooting down of a Chinese balloon will not change his State of the Union speech Tuesday night. Speaking on the White House lawn on Monday, Biden said it was always his idea to shoot it down once it was safe to do so. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen is dismissing recession fears. During an interview on Good Morning America, she said the economy remains strong and resilient. Yellen pointed to the recent jobs report that showed more than 500,000 new jobs were added in January. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Island from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Dell Technologies provides growing businesses with tools to do incredible things because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
If you're not listening to Tavis Smiley weekday mornings on KBLA Talk 1580, you're missing out. Everybody wants to talk to Tavis.
That's one reason, by the way, why I'm so thrilled to have this conversation with you today. The three people I always most hoped would interview me were Phil Donahue, Studs Terkel, and Tavis Smiley. Donahue's retired, Terkel's deceased, so this is a real thrill for me. And the reason why I have such respect for what you do is you have a historically informed conversation of depth and detail.
Be sure to tune in to Tavis Smiley weekday mornings, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on your unapologetically progressive radio station, KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580.
Here at McKay's Family Mortuary, we offer a full line of services with a fine selection of caskets and urns. Also, assistance with cemeteries along with luxury limousine and funeral coaches and other needs pertaining to your family's wishes for your loved one. We accept Veterans Victim Witness Program for mortuary services only at zero cost to you. Cemetery selection does not apply. All insurances are accepted. McKay's Funeral Home understands that saying goodbye is never easy. That's why we've been providing compassionate and professional funeral services to the community for over a decade. Please contact McKay's Family Mortuary, serving Los Angeles, San Bernardino, and Riverside counties and the High Desert. 3918 Marine Avenue, Lawndale, California. 310-978-8877. That's 310-978-8877. By appointment only or log on to mckaysmortuaries.com.
The Millionaires Roundtable with Lynn Richardson is creating millionaires one family, one day, $1, one dime at a time. KBLA Talk 1580 will be celebrating Black History Month Wealth with Lynn Richardson live on Wednesday, February 22nd at the Chase Community Center on Crenshaw and Vernon in Leimert Park. Come check out the space. This location has been a bank branch for over 44 years and is now a community center. It provides resources and education to help the community with money goals, home ownership, and entrepreneurship. You and a guest can win lunch with Lynn Richardson February 22nd. Go to KBLA1580.com or the KBLA 1580 mobile app today and register. See you there. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family was founded to help address domestic violence and sexual assault in the Asian and the Pacific Islander communities. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family's mission is to build healthy and safe communities by addressing the root causes and consequences of family violence and violence against women. They are committed to meeting the specific cultural and language needs of the Asian and Pacific Islander women and their families. CPAF's vision is of an Asian and Pacific Islander community that embraces healthy relationships and works in partnership with other communities to eradicate all forms of violence. To access services, volunteer, or for more info, visit nurturingchange.org. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe everyone deserves to be safe. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
For Black History Month, AARP honors leaders who go above and beyond to help the Black community thrive. These heroic leaders prioritize the well-being of their neighborhoods by giving back through education, housing assistance, community outreach, and more. One person's efforts can truly make an impact. But when our efforts unite for the greater good, we all thrive together. To learn more about local leaders helping their communities thrive, visit aarp.org/blackcommunity.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
is my co-host. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the cartoons. Now you spell cartoons with 2 R's. CARRTOONS. The cartoons. And the name of that track is called Be There For You. And let me just say this, Tony, I'm watching you. Yeah. Because you jacking my records. I see you adding them to your playlist.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, we got so many callers. We want to get them all on. Heru Ali, Battle Creek, Michigan. You're up now. Heru.
Peace and love to the family of nations. Honors Zoe, honors Andy, staff, the God, Kevin Smiley, and honor your illustrious host, Tony.
Tony
I hope
Massey.
I said his name right.
Yes, sir. Tony Massey.
Absolutely. Respectfully, and I said to myself that I'm going to remain calm. I'm going to remain calm.
Starting to get smoky, I
because, yeah, I'm going to remain calm. Listen, I love the spiritual and the practical that you bring. It's absolutely true. It's necessary. Your guest host, all of that. But ladies, what are we really doing? Let me give you the illustration. China sent a balloon that had a surveillance apparatus that was 3, according to the Air Force, 3 school bus loads large at 60,000 feet in the air, where commercial flights don't fly. Okay. They could have took it down before it even got to the United States. That's fine. But guess what? We call that in the military a dry run. Do you know that they could send a weather balloon, obviously, if this is number 4, that has a nuclear payload, that has an EMP? It's not going to kill you directly, but what it's going to do is shut down your power grid. Okay. When the power grid goes down, there's no water to your sink. There's no electronics. It shut down all automobiles. So what are we really talking about? What is the real value of a relationship? All that boss B and all of that stuff, that goes out the window.
When you're at war.
Serious?
You saying when you're at war, right? That goes out the window.
Was that not an act of war? Because them shooting it down. Oh, let me break it back down.
Just relax, Heru. You got space, sir. You got space. Just breathe. I want you to take in 2 deep breaths and then go ahead.
Honest. Really? So you listen, when we are in active war, we have at least we have the most weapons to people ratio in this country, and then we absolutely need it. So if anybody ever tries to invade this country, it's going to be not only the military, but it's going to be civilians who have weapons to fend that off.
So let me ask you a quick question, though, Heru. Because I see where you're going. I see how you're painting this. I see it. What Heru is saying is, you being picky and acting all weird about relationships, but you gonna need a man. We living in a time where the idea of I don't need him. Yeah. I can do this you can't do war by yourself.
Illusion. Because for as many females that I teach and I train, and I do this in real life, how to shoot and all that stuff, that is like a modicum of what it would really take to defend yourself. So the men that are trained, that have the weapons, that's going to do the fight, if we have an EMP that will take out our power grid, because if you remember, in New York, I can't remember the year, when that went down, folks was locked down in elevators, all that stuff. It was chaos. Yes or no?
No, I remember that, Heru, but we're going to start calling your segment the show within the show. Because
I'm sorry. Listen, if you don't think that
I love
need, respect. If you don't think that you need a man, I don't care how much you make and how much he doesn't make.
But you do got to care. Let me ask you this, though. You don't care about how much he makes or she makes or whatever. But the real question is, can you tolerate somebody that's internally broken? Yes, you made good points about survival and the preppers and, that whole concept. I get it. But can you tolerate somebody that has unhealed trauma?
Well, what I can tell you is all that unhealed trauma goes out the door when you ain't got no water to your sink.
No, it don't. It just makes no water to the sink worse.
No. When you need a hero and you need somebody to step in and protect you, all that goes out the. Listen, all the so-called infidelity, giving OPP to somebody else, all that crap goes out the door. Save me, help me. Now, this is coming from a brother who did 23 years in the military. I've been in special operations. I retired as a combat medic, nurse, instructor.
So let me tell you what you have in common with my brother Tony Massey. He's a military man and also a medic and a nurse.
Salute to that brother.
Yeah.
Honest to that brother.
Yeah. So I got a question for you, brother. I've been in.
I'm listening.
I'm listening. In 3 different combat engagements, right? And I'm
honest to you.
And I'm sure I appreciate that, but I'm sure you can appreciate the fact that when all hell broke loose, it was the trust that I had in my leaders that helped me to stay focused on the mission when everything was falling down around us. So what we do in peacetime manifests in wartime, because as you know, war is just uncontrolled chaos until there's peace. The battle is just uncontrolled chaos until there's peace. But if you can't establish a relationship built on trust and competency during peacetime, then at some point when war breaks out, when the battle breaks out, that's when panic sets in. And it's that reliance on those leaders who have proven themselves competent and trustworthy in peacetime that allows you to stay focused in chaos.
Listen, when we come forward, we will continue this conversation. We on fire tonight. We got people all over it. Hey, Heru, when I come back, you're going to have to wrap your thought up because we got 6 other callers coming. We got a lot to talk about, man. The voice of reason is on fire.
Okay.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
The California Reparations Task Force agrees to extend its work to 2024. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News, brought to you by CaliforniaBlackMedia.org. The California Task Force to study and develop reparation proposals for African Americans in California decided at the 2-day meeting on campus of San Diego State that it would support legislation that extends the panel until July of next year. An 8-0 vote with 1 abstention is what moved the date that was previously previously set for the summer of this year. The goal now is to have ample time to satisfactorily implement an action plan based on the findings of its final report, which is due in 5 months. This decision was made 4 months after Governor Gavin Newsom vetoed legislation asking for a 12-month extension. I'm Aisha Cairo, and that's your K-Black Minute News.
Fred Hines was an African-American blacksmith when he started at LADWP in 1968. After a long 30-year career of public service, he enjoyed the fruits of his labor in retirement. Today, Utility Executive Secretary LaTanya Bogan serves as the Retirement Board President, overseeing the retirement funds for more than 20,000 LADWP employees and retirees. She promotes the financial security of LADWP employees and their families. As LADWP celebrates Black History Month, they proudly highlight the excellent work and exemplary leadership of Black employees who work hard to serve you. Visit them online at joinladwp.com.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you a business owner, freelancer, or filing taxes for the first time? Are you tired of dodging the IRS? Stop what you're doing now. Mac Tax Solutions, the father and son dynamic duo tax team, is the most sought-out tax business around. Mac Tax Solutions guarantees 100% maximum refund and free consultation. Call now, 562-715-9945. That's 562-715-9945. Or visit MacTaxSolutions.com. IRS or California FTB notices. Free e-file remote tax services with free secure tax dome portal. A $40 gift card will be included when you file. Call now, 562-715-9945. 562-715-9945. Staying on track with all required documents will help you reach your personal and financial goals. Prevent paycheck garnishments. Mac Tax Solutions will even provide all tax programs that your business could be eligible for. Now is the time to make your business work for you. Call now, 562-715-9945. Be sure to download the KBLA app. Tell all your friends and families it's time for a fresh tax start. Call now, 562-715-9945, or visit the website at MacTaxSolutions.com. Call now, 562-715-9945.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
personal playlist sounds like. Now I'm on the 101, going about 107 miles an hour. I'm trying to duck. I got somewhere to go. Ladies and gentlemen, my playlist is my co-host. This track is called First Responders. It's Terrence Martin, Robert Glasper, and the great Kumasi Washington. Man, y'all check it out, man. We turned up today. I see you looking at you.
Oh, I'm pulling Ice Cube over here. Give me that beat, fool.
And listen, men have to come together in environments like this and have discussions more often. We're not going to always agree, but this is the environment, right? It has to be a little lax, and then we get a little deep, and then we get some music involved. Because sometimes we want to get so deep that, people aren't ready for it. And, it turns into something else. But these are the types of environments that I'd like to create for more men to open up and share how they really feel. Heru Ali, please, brother, wrap your thought here.
Absolutely. Listen, if you're going to kick against a prick in the biblical sense, if you're not going to be subject to me, unfortunately, you'll be subject to thee. And the thee is the dominant society and those that try to invade this country, because I'm willing to die for you, but you don't value that. You only look at me as a convenience. Let's get down to the brass tacks. If you don't want to be submissive to me, a loving black man who loves you, who worships you as a queen, you are going to be subject to thee. Those who are only going to do the most dastardly, most demonic stuff to you.
Let me just say
like
this.
In the past.
Harold, let me say this. Wait, before you leave, Harold, let me just say, Harold, I love the way you kept yourself from cursing. We could hear it. Curse words were fighting to get out, and you. We love you, brother. Thank you, Battle Creek, Michigan.
Peace and love to the family and neighbors. Please stay safe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's keep these callers rolling. Ronan, get in here right now. Right now. We got to make it quick. Let's go.
Hey, what's good, Tony and Zoe? What's going on?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
To your question, do black men suffer from the victimhood archetype? I believe when you allow yourself to become a prisoner of their perspective.
So prisoner of their perspective. Okay. I like that.
When it comes down to it, a lot of us guys are programmed not to find our personal narrative. And we start understanding that we're supposed to not just provide and protect, we're supposed to problem solve and procreate. That's why we're split in half. We're trying to figure out, we're trying to be these puppets out here when you got to realize you were built to oppose environment, especially the negative environments that tell you not to be that fully realized man that you were meant to be. So that's why we get a lot of conflict within ourselves. But when you start stepping outside their comfort zone and you start writing your own script, you start opening yourself up to the world as you need to be. You start accepting your accomplishments as a man as growth, not being a puppet of preference.
Wow.
But you start moving with purpose. And it helps ward off those Neander thoughts and goofballs that keep you from your family.
Ronan from Indianapolis, you brought your city in the building. We appreciate the call. We moving on. Tiffany from Atlanta, get in here. Keep it brief.
Speaking about a clip played earlier, there are black men out there who date outside of their race, and there are black men out there who put black women down as they date outside of their race, but black women, please, black women, mind your business. Just mind your black business, because to that extent, you done seen all over the news when these men getting murdered by these women, and then they family want to turn to us to uplift the community. Like, no, mind your business. These men are allowed to live their life and date who they want. And we, the black women race, we are not the one and done. I understand you want that, you want it. But, baby, we are not the one and done. There are other women out here. Let them have them. Just let them have their pick, and you take your pick. Then mind your business. I love you, Zoe. Thank y'all. Have a good night.
Thank you, Tiffany. You brought Atlanta in the building. Let's keep going. Truemonger, Dallas, Texas. Make it quick.
Yes, sir. I appreciate this topic because a lot of what we were taught as men, and nobody really cares about what you're going through. Just keep going. Do whatever you think you need to do. Nobody cares about what you may be going through. And it takes a while to break that and to get people to realize that you're trying to work on that, even though it might just be part of you. Because we're all works in progress. We're always going to have something to work on. But at some point, you just got to be honest about what it is. And if you're going to do something to change it or if you're not. It's on you. Once you realize what it is, it's up to you what you do afterwards.
Absolutely. My brother, Truemonger, Dallas, Texas, is in the building because of you. Sean, you're the final caller. Oakland, California. Keep it brief.
Absolutely, brother. So here's a different take on this thing. So when you are meeting someone and you go through that whole physical thing where everything is going bright and shiny and you guys are just loving each other physically, right? That time wears down. Doesn't mean it can't be that way for a long time. But then here's what I say. What are the questions that you ask one another that you need to make that relationship last a long time? And I want to say this to everyone. Make sure you ask those questions, right? What is important to you? What will make this thing last a long time? Because the physical kind of stuff, as beautiful as it is, and as much as I love it, is a short-term thing. So make sure you figure out what you really want in a relationship for the long term.
Exactly. I appreciate you, Sean. We appreciate you brought Oakland, California in the building. We ran through 6 callers that quick. Tony, where can they find you? How can they support you? Your book is great. Tell them where to go get it.
So go to Amazon.com, type in Tony Massey in the search bar. All 3 of my books will pop up. You can also follow me, Tony Massey Cooks, on all platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
This was an amazing show. It flew by real quick.
I thought it was 2 hours, man. It was 30 minutes.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, I start the conversation, but it's your job to finish it. We don't have all the answers, but we sure do love starting the discussion. Please continue it out into the world, and tomorrow I will return with yet another banger. Deuces.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Island, and here's the latest from the Black Information